I had never played pickleball before reading the script. I had heard of it. I had played very little tennis before reading the script. Sean and I, the writer, went out and he told me the idea. And the moment that I knew I wanted to do it was the relationship with Candace and this idea of maybe having to do a match against a pro like an Andy Roddick. Andy Roddick was in the original script. I thought, man, if this all works, it could be a lot of fun. And the PJ character who Aaron ended up playing was written in Sean's voice, our writer. And Sean's a guy I've now known for 15 years or whatever it is, 10 years. And he's so funny. So I could imagine all those jokes. So all that together, I wanted to do it. I think what feels fresh about this is really just the writing of it, the comedy of it, the tone, the characters involved. It's a classic sports structure, which I like about it. You know what the third act's going to be. It's fun. The game is great. But I think just the tone of which it's written is smarter than most people think it's going to be when they hear pickleball. And I was really happy we ended at Apple because I do think it's a good fit for that for Apple because it is a little bit smarter than you think it's going to be when you first hear a pickleball comedy. You might think it's a little bit kind of sillier and dopier, but it's just not the way it was written. Well, I think what I liked about Dusty is that his father, played by the great Ed Harris, had an idea for him since he was younger about being a tennis pro, and he pushed him really hard. And I sometimes see it with like child actors where the parents are so intense on these kids, where you think like, man, it's gonna break. It's not gonna turn out the way you want. And so what I liked is it's the story of what happens when that character breaks. It just took Dusty a lot longer than it does most people, and then it's about him breaking and finding out who he really is. And so I think any story about somebody discovering their actual truth is easy to root for. Well, Andy, I could speak more about because we got to do a lot of stuff together. It was incredible. So, Andy, we got to hit together, we got to play, we got to talk tennis. Brad Gilbert, who was my coach, used to be Andy's coach. So, having Brad around to play tennis with, to talk tennis, and then even he taught me a lot of pickleball too. And then the other thing about Andy, which was very underrated, is how funny he is. Um, he crushes the movie comedically, and then he's also come on my podcast, We're Here to Help, and he's become like a regular over there because he's just so funny. So, and then the tennis world, hearing all the inside stories of what it was actually like, it was just fascinating. The reason we made this movie was we wanted people to be able to laugh and to have fun, and we wanted it to be an enjoyable hour and a half. Uh, Certain movies should be kind of escapism in the true form of you just sit back and you enjoy it and you get carried away in the story. And I think that's what this one does. I think that hour and a half is gonna go fast, but you're gonna get caught up in it. And there's so many different funny characters giving you laughs. There's a lot of heart to it, and there's a story that matters. So I hope people just get carried away with the story.